Okay, and welcome to Tiger TV. I'm your host, Tony Symonds, and we are very excited this week whilst we celebrate Volunteers Week to have the beautiful Glenna Bulley. Welcome, Glenna.
Welcome to that side, Tony.
Well, isn't it fantastic to see this lady?
Oh.
Now, let's start from the beginning. I remember back in the day when I was playing down here in the 80s, I reckon you were working here even then. Tell us about when you started.
That canteen in 1981.
Well, coincidentally, that was the year I started playing footy down here in the seniors.
Yeah.
So I thought I remembered a good-looking lady working in the canteen in those days. So 1981 to now, the way I look at that, that's 36 years, Glenna.
That's
Is that
right.
correct?
That's right. And more to come.
Now, I've heard whispers that you make the best sandwiches this side of Adelaide. Is that correct?
Well, that's a compliment. They go very quickly.
What makes you want to be a volunteer at Glenelg Football Club for that long, Glenna?
Well, when my husband was sick, people told me to give it away, and he said, no, you just keep going. You'd like to do it, you do it. And he and his family were all at the Glenelg Primary School, infant school. His mother was there, his aunt was there, and my son went there to school. So I just wanted to work at Glenelg, help them. I loved it. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
And you
very
still
much.
do, clearly.
Yeah.
Now you've seen some good days and some not so good days.
Yes.
But it sort of feels like we're on the way up a little bit at the moment, doesn't
Yes.
it? Have you got a favourite player?
In the present team.
In the present? Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name?
Come on, think about it.
Not Johansson.
No, he's gone.
He's gone.
We've lost him. What about the captain?
Bradley.
Yeah, fantastic player.
Yes, he is one of my favourite players.
Yes. What about big Warwick McGinty?
Solid.
Solid?
Yes.
Does he eat your sandwiches occasionally when he has a day off?
No. But I watched them all,
Now,
at the matches.
have you had any funny occasions, anything funny that's happened to you since you've been working here over 36 years? There must have been something that comes to mind, or just a great day. Tell me.
The worst day was when Glenelg played Adelaide and we had a blackout and it was pouring with rain. I have never seen rain like that before. Windy, and we were in the dark. And everybody forgot about us.
Oh, that's not good for business at all. Now, one thing I must ask you about, it must have been a big thrill last year to win the Vice President's Award for the best volunteer at the footy club. Was that exciting?
Yes, it was nice to receive it. But I don't do it to get accolades. I do it because I love the club and I do it to help the club.
Well, Glenna, the footy club would not survive without people like you. You look fantastic today. Get all done up for me. I just love that. Thank you, Glenna, and thanks for being involved in the Glenelg Footy Club.
Thank you, darling.
Okay, our next volunteer, as we celebrate Volunteers Week here at Glenelg Footy Club, is the one and only Dave Schell. How are you, Dave?
Very good, Tony. How yourself?
Great, thank you.
Yeah,
nice of you to ask. Now, incredibly, Dave, you've done many things. We'll talk about that at the footy club, but currently you're the reserves team manager. Tell us what's involved in that role.
Well, basically it's getting here at the crack of dawn. Well, not really at the crack of dawn. Getting here pretty early. Basically when the trainers start, it was about 9 o'clock each game day. Get the team sheets, go through the team sheets, check the Guernseys and so on and so forth, check the team with the coach, make sure all the interchange is right, then exchange team sheets with the opposition and the umpires, and and so on and so forth until the game starts, and then I'm out here on the line.
I know, it's a long day, isn't it? I've seen you get here early in the morning and I've seen you packing up at 7 o'clock at night. That is an extremely long day, Dave. Now, it doesn't stop or start there. You've done many different and varied roles here at the footy club. Tell us what else you've done, and I know the answer to some of this, so tell the truth, Dave.
Oh, I can't wangle this one. Well, I started back in 2001. I got asked when I was sitting out at Prospect Oval for a trial match. They're looking for timekeepers. I put my hand up for that. I went from that to stats. Then I went from stats to down to learn team manager with ex-team manager we had here for many years, Wally Elliott. and I learned
the great Wally Elliott.
Yes, the great Wally Elliott. Big shoes to fill, I must add.
Exactly.
So I learnt the craft from him. Went into reserves from there. Took over from David Wright.
Big shoes to fill as well.
Yes, very, very big. Both very big. And then after about 2 years, I think, in the reserves, I went into league. That would have been about 2004, I think it would have been. And up to right up to about 2010-11, I was league team manager. And since then, I've been. I hope kids don't watch this, but I was the mascot for a few years there.
I was going to say, I saw you walking across the oval to talk to us today, and I thought I knew that familiar walking gait, and I thought that's got to be the bloke who's been the Tiger mascot. So that is true?
Yes, that is true. I'm not obviously I'm not anymore, because I can't do that, can't fill that role anymore.
You got out of that one?
And I have been also helping out on the trainer side of things for about the last 2.5, 3 years, up till this year.
Brilliant, mate. That is absolutely superb. Footy clubs can't survive without people like yourself. What is it that got you first involved with Glenelg? Obviously you got asked because you were at a game, but were you a Glenelg supporter, and what made you get involved and stay involved?
Well, I have been a Glenelg supporter. My first game I saw in 1973, because that's when we moved from the Riverland to here.
You were the good luck charm. That was a winning year.
Yeah, it was a winning year. Yes, very good first year off the cap. And my dad went to Clinton Primary. So he was a Glenelg supporter since he was a kid, so it was just ran in the family, I guess. And I came to many games right from 73 all the way through, and I've always, for probably 12 months, 2 years before I actually got involved, I always thought to myself, I wonder if I should get involved or not. I always look down here thinking, I wonder what they do down there, so to speak. And a lovely young lady named Deborah Nicole. Yep. You would know her, I believe.
Yes.
She actually asked me at that trial match out of 2001, and I thought, what the hell? I've always wanted to find a way in to actually help the club instead of just being a supporter. And I went from there.
Well done, mate. So I must say, before we let you go, I heard a little whisper, the 2016 Glenelg Football Club Volunteer of the Year. Is that correct?
Yes, actually.
There it is, photographic evidence. I don't have anything like that on mine, unfortunately. I might just have dunks on mine or something like that, but I thought it was correct. I mean, that must be a big thrill for you, Dave.
It was totally unexpected, mind you, considering how many volunteers are down here at the club and how many people probably could have easily won it. But I was very honoured, very chuffed, and a little bit embarrassed. And if anybody was at Best and Fairage when it was awarded, they would know that I'm not one to actually shut up, especially when there's a microphone in front of me. Thus.
I hadn't noticed.
And I was kind of stuck for words a little bit that night.
Well done. So, well, Dave, you're a star. The footy club can't survive without guys like you. We thank you for your help and support. Well done to Dave Schell.
Thank you.
Well done, mate.
No worries.
Well done. Now, our next volunteer, as we celebrate Volunteer Week here at Glenelg Football Club, is one of the greats of the club, the one and only Russell Wright. How are you, Russell?
Good, thanks, Tony. Good.
Fantastic to see you. Now, Russell, I've got some deep questions to ask you here. The Doorman position, I believe that's your main role here at the moment,
yes.
Doorman. Now, we'll come back to that, but you follow in some of the greats of the footy club down here. I remember Clary, I remember Simo, I remember Big Bear, and they ruled the door like they were the king of the castle. Now, tell me, how long have you been here doing the job? And tell us a bit about it.
Over 14 years, and I have to keep the riff-raff outside the change rooms. Anybody that's not supposed to be in there, I have to keep out. So
is that why you don't let me in sometimes when I roll up? I say, Russell, please let me in, and you say, Tony, you've had your turn. Time to go.
I just shut the door on you.
Now, I've seen that happen. He rules with an iron fist, Russell. So you've been here 14 years.
Yeah.
How did you get started down here? Were you already a Glenelg supporter, or?
It was advertised. Yeah, I was already a Glenelg supporter, and following the bays all the time, I remember the days when Hayden Linky and Colin Richards and Don Hewitt and all of them were playing down here. You know, and I remember you playing down here. And
well, let's talk a bit about that. No, I'm only joking, Russell. But you must have a good memory. If you can remember me playing, it's a long time ago.
And when, well, it was too. And when you were coaching, of course, my mate Ross and myself used to sneak in the dressing room. Probably you ordered the doorman to keep everybody out, but we used to sneak in somehow.
Well, I was in a bad mood quite a bit when I was coaching because we lost quite a few games, so it wasn't a great time. But it would have been good to have had you around, Russell, because you're one of the great supporters of this football club. And my mail is that any job that needs to be done around the place, they ask you to get involved, whether it's packing memberships, posting letters, whatever it might be, you're happy to be involved.
Yeah, yes I am. I'm always happy to be involved. I love this club, and I do really. And I'm here just about every night for tea, nearly every night anyway, so...
Now, I heard a whisper about that. You're eating a lot of chicken schnitzels at the moment, Russell. Is that the case?
Yeah, chicken schnitzels.
Yeah? Bit of salad?
I have a bit of everything. Yeah.
Bit of everything?
Yeah, a bit of everything.
And you can recommend the menu to all the supporters watching this?
I can recommend the menu, recommend the club, recommend everything, so... Yeah.
Now, what's the highlight of your 14 years since you've been involved? Would it be the grand final in 2008, or do you have another highlight, Russell?
73 grand final, I reckon, was pretty good. Yeah, 73 grand final. And the others, 1985 and 86 were good. They were really terrific, and, you know, all the grand finals have been.
You think we're due to win another one the next year or two?
I think so. I hope it's this year, but as long as we make the five first, then see how we go from there.
Any advice for the players while they're watching this?
Take notice of your coach, because Matt Locum is a good coach. Yeah.
Well, Matt Locum's a good coach, and you're one of the best doormen we've ever had. Love your work, Russell. Thanks for being involved at Glenelg Footy Club, and we'll see you again very soon.
Right, thank you, Tony. Thanks, Tony.